we got a pretty crazy episode of Black Lightning on our hands here because this is the 9th episode of Season 4, The Book of Ruin, Chapter 4. And this was a good episode. I really enjoyed this. I mean, the problem that I was talking about last week, it's still here with it kind of being all over the place with like so many different storylines going on. And again, that is still kind of going on in this episode, and it is still an issue, but it's definitely not as clear as it was last week, because in this episode you really can tell what storylines are really the main storylines, and then the other ones that weren't focused on or featured as much are really the subplots. So I also like how they were all tied together in the end, and you really got, almost like a reward for watching all the storylines, and it's like, oh, they do actually connect together. So that was pretty cool, and it did end on a cliffhanger. We'll talk about that at the end, because of course, spoilers. We're breaking this thing down in depth. So yeah, guys. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this. So we, just like how we get a pretty crazy ending, we start off pretty crazy in the episode as well, because the episode starts with Jefferson, Jennifer, and Anissa. And they fall into a trap that has been set by Lynn. And she is trying to take away their powers. And it definitely reminds me of Baron Zemo in Captain America Civil War. How they were like behind the glass just watching what was going on there. So she's trying to take away their powers. And their lives, apparently. Because then blood just starts coming out their mouths and they die. Because, of course, that is just a dream. It ends up being just a dream sequence, and she's talking to her therapist and everything, and she is going through some hard times. And we see that explored more later in the episode when her access to her lab is actually revoked, and that's due to the embezzlement investigation with Jefferson and all that stuff. And then she even gets taken to prison, and we get this really uncomfortable scene with her getting a cavity search, and wow, throughout this whole season I've hated Lynn, but just from this one scene, you gotta feel bad for her. Not even she deserves that. I mean, a little bit, but not really. She doesn't deserve that. But yeah, that was disturbing to watch. But yeah, I feel bad for Lynn. I never thought I'd say that, but I do. But other than that, not really much happened with her in this episode. But it's pretty crazy that she's in prison now, so that's definitely pretty interesting there. But then also in this episode, one quick thing we did get was Anissa getting a new suit. So she's done as Blackbird, and now she's officially Thunder again. She got this really cool suit. I really like it. I feel like it looks maybe a little too skin tight and sleek, but at the same time, I like it, so I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on it, but for the most part, I like the suit. It's pretty cool. I mean, we only got to see it in one scene, and Gambi just pulled out a gun and started shooting her. Whoa, give her a warning. But of course, the suit is bulletproof, so pretty cool suit reveal. I like that. Then, speaking of Gambi, he informs the whole team on Ishmael, this new villain, this creepy, crazy-eyed ninja that is trying to hunt down the Metas, hunt down the whole Pierce family, and basically try and earn his way into the League of Assassins. So now that the team knows what they're dealing with, they've got to be taking more precautions. But of course, Jen, she's a teenager, so she doesn't listen to that. So she goes on Instagram Live as Lightning once again, this time actually with her new friend that she met at school, which, I mean, it's one of those things where it's you just kind of got to go with it, but at the same time, it's so stupid that, she shows up, and she's got the voice changer and everything, but it's so obvious that, that's JJ. How can he not recognize her? And then how the police actually, see the Instagram Live, and they're like, oh, that's Lightning. She looks different, but that's definitely her. They don't notice that, it's a different person. I mean, it's the same person, but, man, things like that is just wow, how did they not notice? But at the same time, you just gotta go with it. So, yeah, there's that. And, of course, Jeff just wants her to delete this whole Instagram account because, of course, it's a bad idea, and he's warning her. But later in the episode, we see that she doesn't listen to that, and then Chief Lopez actually ends up tracking her Instagram account, and then we get a battle between those two. Jen actually comes out on top. She escapes, so that's pretty cool. Also, we found out that Jen actually smokes, which, man, Jen, I thought you were one of the good ones. How dare you? I'm so disappointed. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Jen until the end of the episode with the cliffhanger. But like I said, all these storylines tie together with that cliffhanger, so we're gonna wait a little bit longer on that. So Khalil also had a quick scene here as well, a kind of Khalil painkiller team up here, as they took down some bad guys, the Cobra Cartel. Not really anything big, but it is cool to see that he's actually playing a role in the rest of the season, not just moving on to a spin-off series after that backdoor pilot. So that's definitely really cool there, and I did enjoy seeing that. But then, other than that, it really is just the cliffhanger ending of the episode, because Tobias, we see that he is super obsessed with his sister. He's got this whole shrine for her with like a stained glass window and everything, which honestly is pretty cool. But he keeps saying like, I want to claim my throne and knock Black Lightning off his, and all this stuff and that. And then he turns on this machine, which it turns out this is actually a machine using the powers of his henchman with the nullifying powers. I forgot what her name is, but she's got the nullifying powers. So then this triggers all of our heroes to automatically lose their powers. And of course, it's just like the worst timing possible, because Anissa, she just walked in on finding Darius, her friend from work, who I think is dead. I don't know why or how, but at the same time, we don't know for sure if he's dead, but he didn't look too alive. So there's that, and now she doesn't have her power, so she can't do anything, and she's about to get hit by a car. Then Jeff, he's out there as Black Lightning actually fighting Ishmael, and the last shot we see of him is that he doesn't have his powers, he can't fly away, he can't escape, and then Ishmael, stabs him. We just see that he swings the sword at Jeff, and we don't see Jeff move. So is he just gonna get, slice and diced like a watermelon here? Jeff's not going to die. Or is he? Is he? No, probably not. But it was pretty crazy there. Then also, TC loses his powers too, of course. And of course, Jen, she's up there flying in the sky, and she starts falling again. We just saw this, deja vu. We just saw this happen earlier in the season. A different version of Jennifer at the time. But she's falling from the sky again. And who knows? I don't think she's going to get a new face this time. But things aren't going good, and the team just lost their powers. So, not sure how they're going to get their powers back or what's going to happen here, but it was definitely a pretty crazy cliffhanger that I'm excited to see how this gets resolved in the next episode. And again, just a really good episode. I did really enjoy it for the most part. It really made you feel for Lynn. It really explored the whole thing with Ishmael and all that stuff. So anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below your thoughts on this episode and more. And thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button.